The investor Charlie Munger talks about inversion, theory of inversion. And I'm thinking this way. If you want to succeed, don't do things that you will be failing. I have posted a video about don't rush, taking things care of themselves, and don't rush. If we rush, we make a mistake. In the book I wrote about waste elimination, there's a waste of overburdening, doing too much, like creating the inventory. Or it could be thinking too much. So I have been practicing just be in the moment, no thinking. It may sound very weird for many people, probably, but don't rush is equating, in my mind, to be alert and be aware in each moment so that you do things right step at a time, but not haphazardly moving forward with certain expectation or imagination. So it takes some discipline, which is quite different in today's world. Let's say people talk about how to succeed. Busy, busy. Do this, do that. In the other video, I mentioned about we're busy about what to do and how to do it, but why we do it has to be clear, not jumping into conclusion that this will happen, this should happen, therefore we should do it. But the assumption could be wrong. So Charlie Munger's case, he applies that idea of inversion not just for investment, because investment, you allocate your resources, money in certain way, and when you do that, again, haphazardly doing it, rushing into conclusion, grabbing the opportunity, all of that, it's very dangerous. So when he talks about investment, he's thinking in the terms of long-term holding, not buying and selling. Because the opportunity pops up or go away, so you rush into this decision, that decision, keep yourself busy, then you lose the balance and be conservative, if you use that word, about certain level of safety. If you don't have that, then buying and selling, and you lose the balance. So the how and what is busy in your mind, but not why you invested, because you invest for the future potential return and you are conservative so that you don't jump around. So looking at the world and busyness, we jump around as if you have to grab this or grab that, do this, do that. That those things can happen. I've seen companies managed in such a manner that you have to do it because everybody else is doing it, or any of that. So you're losing the balance, your foundation, and the discipline, and it's dangerous. So it's not just the investment, how we live our life, how we posture ourselves. So reflecting back, especially my life and the younger days, I was thinking I want to do this, explore that, so that I've been rushing in a way that when you're young, I'm curious. But now I'm much, much older and getting to the point of so many trial and learning out of it. And one of the essence of the Zen or spiritual pursuit. And interestingly, there's connection to the investment and many other wisdom that we to have to say succeed in life. Again, not making failure, not making haphazard decision, jumping into conclusion, occupied in certain idea and think that's the end of it. And because you have the idea without checking from different angles, then you lose the balance and mind is busy and not calm and quiet. Having a calm and quiet mind is critical. I mentioned somewhere else, many videos I posted, to make a good judgment. So what does that mean? If you want to succeed, avoid making mistakes. It may not be seen as very exciting, but practicing each step every day, not rushing, but doing things step at a time, focusing each step of the way. I can come up with some examples that I made a mistake. I was rushing when when I was doing some work in the garden, and then it started to rain. So I started to do things. I had a knife and I cut my finger because I wasn't paying attention enough. So that's just an example, whether it's investment or gardening or living life, making decision. Each step of the way, be mindful of, or be alert. It's a better way because the mindfulness is like a mind is full. Opposite of that, we have to have a calm and quiet mind, meaning the mind is still, alert, be aware what's going on. Not just one area and expanding and figuring out, but you have to look at the whole picture, all different angles, be able to make a good decision. So calm and quiet mind, and for that to happen, we have to go not just the shallow ripples and waves of the mind jumping around all the time, but have a calm and quiet mind like deep into the ocean, which is missing, I believe. Lots of information jumping around, and people are busy. I spend time being quiet because of the COVID and also related to my life's reflection of rushing and realizing what's the point of it, especially when you're older. Every moment counts. Younger days may be okay because you have so energy and you want to try that. So you learn the lesson and you accumulate those learning to the point that it's not necessary to rush at certain point. If you live life like that, rushing this and that, like a stock market and busy, you lose the balance. So this COVID help us to have a moment to be still, reflect, and there is that clear, calm mind, peace. And if that's not success, what is success? Maybe you may not have huge accumulation of wealth, or maybe you do because you don't waste time and energy jumping around, therefore you can make good judgment. At the end, there's a success formula, so to speak, because you don't fail by jumping around. Cases are so many. If we can, or our mind is still and quiet to look at all the different cases and why there's a mistake made. And if you don't make a mistake, like my book, Waste Elimination, or Lean, or Toyota Production System, is built upon those basic principles. So the investment, production system, psychological issues that we can avoid to make a mistake, and you live your life not making a mistake. Would that be a successful life? Maybe it doesn't appeal to many because you are chasing, or we may be chasing, the dream. I heard one conversation that we're going to make this much sales by this much, and nobody mentioned it. Is it feasible? Or, but some idea pops up, and you think that's the right way, and then people just move on. That this person has a big dream and chasing. If we don't have a good, solid foundation to make a good judgment. So, no rush, calm and quiet, understand what's going on, not just externally, but internally, with a calm and quiet mind to be able to make a good judgment. You have to synthesize so many information, not just jumping one idea and go for it, and another idea and go for it. No reflection, no learning, moving on, rushing. Such a basic principle. So, spending time being able to be quiet, calm and quiet mind, observe what we can learn, and not make a mistake. Learn from the mistake if there was. So, success formula in life could be don't fail. Learn from the past and the lessons. Don't rush. Don't overburden ourselves. Don't clutter our mind. Busy, busy. And let that not be natural phenomena of being busy. Let's be wise not to do unnecessary things. Fine, it's easy to say, difficult to do, but like a desk, if you clutter with those ideas, lots of things to do, and get lost with all the paper and information and processing of it, there's another way to have a sane, not insane process that we can look into. Maybe this is not for everyone. because there's all the gadget and new information popping up. So you chase one after the other and looking around who is doing what and that. You can live your life all way and you may succeed and fail and drink wine or laugh or sad. Let's have a good balance to see the whole if we can, as much as we can, and learn the lesson and be still, calm and quiet, and be able to make a good judgment. Being quiet may not be seen as a good trait. The situation in the world seems to be so turbulent and we get affected. Such is a moment we really need to have a wisdom to see through things. And what better way are there than having a calm and quiet mind to be able to see things with penetrating eyes? Thank you.